Going.
When you want to press up.
It's going.
Hi, Sebastian.
Hello.
Thank you for coming to today's session.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I would like us to talk about a very unpleasant experience you had recently.
Sure.
Let's see how you feel about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been down in the dumps a little bit lately. I received some very bad news, and I've just been feeling quite discouraged about that. So, starting from the beginning, I applied to 2 different graduate school programs this year that I was very hopeful for, and I spent a lot of time putting together the best possible applications that I could. And when I heard back from my first choice of university, I found out I was not accepted. And when I heard back from my second choice of school, I was also not accepted to that one. And I'm just feeling very upset and discouraged, and just don't really know where to take my life from here. You know, I really counted on getting accepted to one of those programs, and I just don't know where to go from here.
Thank you for sharing. So from your conversation, just to clarify what you said and paraphrase, you're feeling down in the dumps just because you applied to a couple of schools, 2 schools in particular, and for graduate school, and you didn't get admission into any of the schools. So I would like you to tell me more about your feelings towards the information that was given to you when you realized that you didn't get accepted.
I think the information I got was the most frustrating part of the whole ordeal, because all I got was a letter in the mail that said, "Sorry, you were not a successful applicant. Try again next year." And there was no real feedback there as to, you know, why I was not accepted. And that's been very difficult to come to terms with, because, you know, as I said, I really put a lot of effort into my applications. You know, I put a lot of work and time and research into the papers that I wrote for my applications, and I had some very, very strong references too, and I just don't understand what I could have done better, you know, and that makes it very hard to come to grips with the decision of the universities.
It seems frustrating for you to be in that situation where you don't even know where you went wrong after all the hard work you've done.
Yeah.
And you still put in all that hard work, and at the end of the day, there's no feedback to, oh, this is what you didn't do right, this is what you did right. So it gets to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like, you know, it's difficult. Like, I would like to know how to move forward from here, you know, and if my application this year wasn't good enough, then I don't really know what areas to improve for next year if I wanted to apply again, or if it's even worth applying to these programs again. You know, it's kind of got me rethinking about my whole career choices altogether, and maybe these programs that were very centered on leadership and management may not be the right thing for me. And
so from your discussion, from your what you're telling me now, it's sounding more like your frustration is towards the universities, or is it towards you as a person for not doing the right thing? That's what I would like to. I would like you to tell me more about where your frustration lies. Are you angry towards yourself for not doing more or doing enough to get in, or your frustration is actually geared towards the universities that didn't tell you where you went wrong?
you know, I think when you put it that way, I'm not angry at the universities. I mean, I understand that they have to choose the best candidates for their programs, and I guess the fault has to lie with me that I was not the best candidate for the program at this time, and I think that just means that I really need to. Well, the blame is on me, and I didn't measure up. I didn't make the cut, and I wasn't good enough, and I need to come to terms with that.
So most of your what you're telling me now, what I'm hearing you say is your feelings, your hot feelings or your anger, you're beating yourself up over not doing enough. It's making you begin to doubt your self-worth.
Yeah, big time. I'm definitely doubting myself, doubting my competency in my career, and You know, I'm just doubting the certainty of my future, I guess. I just don't know how to pick up the pieces and what direction to move forward in now.
So with this, with what you're telling me, I'm sensing that with all this that is going on, you beat yourself up when you feel things are not working the way you want them or the way you outline them to be. Is that correct?
You're absolutely right. I don't tend to handle things very well when things don't go my way, and you know, especially when I put so much effort, you know, and so much energy towards something, and for it to not go the way I wanted. I mean, well, when you put it that way, it does sound a little bit childish, I think, how I'm responding to this news.
Okay. So to clarify what you've told me now, you're telling me your anger or your frustration mostly is geared towards yourself because you feel you could have done more. Maybe there was something you missed. It wasn't really, your anger is not really geared towards the universities because they have their criteria, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now that you didn't get in, you feel, oh, maybe it's on you that you as a person, you didn't do enough work to guarantee you a spot in that. And that stems from the fact that you always, no, not you mostly react that way when things don't go the way you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to know more about these applications you put in place. Were they supposed to take you to the next level of your career? Is it a yardstick for you to grow into your career, or was just something you wanted to add into what you already have?
Well, I guess I, you know, never really considered myself as much of you know, a clinical therapist person and more of a macro level thinker, and because I kind of had this perception of myself, these programs that were centered on management and leadership seemed very attractive to me, and you know, because I didn't get into any of these programs, I instead applied to the BSW VLC program, and I'm kind of realizing that my goals of leadership and management may not be the only option for me too, and I think that, you know, there may be some merit to exploring other options, because as you said, you know, this isn't the next step of my career. It was just something to add to my career, and it's not the only option.
That's good to know. So it sounds like you already have other things in place. Just because this didn't work out, you now have a plan B, which you're working on right now to actually help you achieve the goals that you want to also achieve.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of doing my BSW now is to improve my GPA and have you know, just more competitive grades for when I try to apply to grad school. I mean, I knew that when at the time I applied to my grad programs, I don't think there was anything I could do better. You know, it wasn't that I didn't do enough, it's that my best work wasn't enough. And in order for me to move forward or be reconsidered, I really have to, I have to come from a place where I have more to bring. And unless I go and actively seek something out, like this BSW program, then I'll never have more to bring. So I guess while I feel very discouraged about these leadership programs, you know, I can definitely take the next year and a half of this BSW program and you know, consider what other grad school options might look like.
So it sounds like you have a plan in place already. You have you have plans, you have things that you want to do to achieve, other pathways you could go through to achieve your goals. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Yeah,
I think so. And when I consider these other goals, it doesn't feel so discouraging that I didn't get the answers that I was hoping for at the time. And you know, maybe this has just closed one door but opened several others for me.
So to summarize what we've talked about, just to be sure we're clear on what we discussed, you talked about applying to 2 grad schools and not getting in, and the frustrating part was the fact that you didn't get a feedback from them, not knowing where you went wrong, and then you started to beat yourself up that you didn't do well enough, which is something that you you're used to doing.
Mhm.
When things don't work the way you outline them, it seems like, oh, you're not doing the right thing. So now talking to me, you've told me more things about having other plans and pathways that with which you can achieve all these goals that you set for yourself, which I think is a really, really good thing. I just want to say thank you for coming in and sharing with me.
Thank you. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, and yeah, I think I feel much better about my situation moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hit that stop.